Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Wednesday the 11th of December.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
And a very good morning to you, G Lane.
Oh, morning. Happy Sexy Camel Day.
Yes, happy birthday to the Sexy Camel.
Yeah.
It is his 37th birthday, I believe.
What a week of celebration
for
him. His last test ever in his home ground in Hamilton. He's a Northland boy, but Northern District's his home ground is Seddon Park.
Yes.
So Saturday, so happy Sexy Camel Day.
Oh, happy Sexy Camel Week.
Oh,
I mean, it starts today with the birthday, but just tomorrow you're going to go down and pick up the camel itself.
Yeah. So I'll be on the Jamal, so I'm going to drive to Karaka and meet the camel man. I'm a bit concerned about that because I've seen photos of his lifestyle block and his setup, and he's got a rhino, an elephant, obviously the camel, but they're all fiberglass and in a field, like he's pretending he's got animals.
I feel it reeks to me of a mini golf course.
Yes,
that's been disassembled. But didn't someone say there was one at a mall, like a Sylvia Park camel?
Yeah, well, I think that's the one.
Oh, it is
the Sylvia Park putt.
Oh,
camel.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
so they're both right. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Oh, so I haven't done any sleuth work there.
No,
That's exactly what it is. But has he picked those up going, geez, these will be worth a pretty penny one day?
Yeah, it's a bit of like the castle, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, mate, there's a guy selling a whole lot of fiberglass wildlife.
Yeah.
What's he asking?
Oh, it's funny. So, and we'll talk about this in just a second, but the Facebook post of the Greyhounds have been banned, and the top comment was, Dad loves the dogs, and the dogs love Dad.
One of the great movies.
That sent me. Oh,
one of the greats.
I know it's not a Christmas movie, and we talked about this on Hodoki Breakfast this morning, but it's not a Christmas movie, but it is a movie I watch at Christmas.
It's one of the greats.
You can watch it with the whole family. It's so fucking funny.
The Castle. I've got the pool room edition DVD, which is it's like a green velvet, and it opens out, and it's got all the words to Bonnie Doon, and it's got newspaper cutouts of all the items he buys.
Oh,
it's one. I had to bring it in.
Oh, does it have the jousting sticks? Because he didn't buy them.
Yeah, but the jousting sticks in there, so it's like they've cut it out and stuck it in like a scrapbook.
How much are jousting sticks worth, Dad? Oh, I don't know. $200. No.
When they're going to Bonnie Doon, and the cop radar goes off. Beep, 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 slow down, Dad. Slows down. He goes, how much you pay for that? $50. Just paid for it.
Oh, I love that movie. Every morning when I print off the rundown and the printer's jammed or there's no paper in it. I fixed tray for 3 fucking times this week.
You want to go full Dennis DeNudo on it?
Oh, the vibe, the marbo. All right, that's my Christmas viewing, Sus. We went through Christmas movies this morning, talking about what is and what isn't a Christmas movie. And I think it's the same thing for songs. If you took the Christmas aspect out of it, would it still make sense? And if it would, then it's not a Christmas movie. So, for example, Die Hard could have happened at any other time of the year. Yeah. So I would say technically not a Christmas movie.
Also, I think it's difficult for us with Christmas movies because they're all winter-based.
Yeah.
So we haven't got a summer. That's why The Castle's a good one because they're going on holiday.
They're going to Bonnie Doon. We're going to Bonnie Doon.
Yeah, totally. But all the ones that are like Home Alones and your Bad Santas and all that kind of carry on are all set in cold New York or America or Europe.
Home Alone, definitely a Christmas movie because the whole reason he's home alone is because they've left for Christmas. Yeah. So that's definitely a Christmas movie. But yeah, there's The Grinch. You cannot take Christmas out of that movie. But you're right. Why don't we have more of our own traditions? There's not a lot of like summer, and half the world, I mean geographically at least, has Christmas in summer. I would say it's probably about 20 or 30% of the population of the world, but we don't have a lot of, even New Zealand Christmas traditions.
Well, we kind of do. Not many people have barbecues and lamb and go to the beach.
Yeah, that's true.
Lamb's a big thing. Bit of lamb, but over there it's all very stodgy and you stay inside and eggnog and shit. No one has. I mean, no one's ever served me an eggnog at Christmas.
I've never had.
I just shove it back in their face.
Yeah, no,
they've got pavlova.
Yep,
brandy snaps, that kind of stuff.
Berries like strawberries.
Yeah, berries like raspberries,
cherries,
blueberries.
Yeah,
shit, and apricots, peaches, nectarines.
I'm allergic to apricots.
Are you?
Yeah.
Stone fruit. It's one of the greats.
Yeah.
It's one of life's simple pleasures is summer stone fruit and berries.
And then that week between Christmas and New Year's where no one knows what they are.
Nah, no one knows what they're doing, and they put on so much weight.
That is, yeah. The other thing that we're talking about on breakfast this morning, because it's customary here on this podcast to regurgitate any content we've already used.
Well, it is Hauraki breakfast with an agenda.
Yeah.
Because I'm on Friday.
Yeah.
So I've dropped you in it on Monday because I was still in Christchurch.
Oh, happy
There
to.
you go.
And then we regurgitated that on this feed. This morning, what really got the listeners fired up was bug bites. Jerry reckons he was the first New Zealander to ever hit the quaddie, which in his mind was a bee, a honeybee, a wasp, a bumblebee, and a hornet.
Oh.
I didn't even know we had hornets in New Zealand.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Must be in North Island.
He's had the quaddie, has he?
He said the quaddie got stung by a bumblebee on Sunday in the temple. It got stuck in the arm of his glasses and stung him. And fun fact, they do sting. I always thought bumblebees bit.
Nah, they sting. My wife was driving on the open road with window down with a pair of Daisy Dukes on, and a bumblebee came in the window and up her shorts. And she did drive off the road.
Pervert. Fucking perverted bumblebee. And bit and stung her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, went to town. And she had to pull over and just open the door and just drop the Daisy Dukes. She didn't actually know what was going on until thought something was on fire.
Yeah.
I got stung by a bee in the weekend as well. Got caught. This is what Birkenstocks, great shoes. But if you're walking through like clover, and you're skimming your thing, it skimmed and went straight between my big toe and my next toe and just stung the living shit out of me.
So honeybee, obviously.
Yeah.
How did you manage to get? Did you get the sack out?
Yeah, I laid out. Embarrassingly, this was in front of it's up in the Takapuna Barracks or whatever. You can walk the public area.
Oh, yes, I know.
And there was a Christmas party going on in the officers' mess there, and I was walking past the front deck, and there were people on the deck and everything, and I got stung there, and I dropped to the ground going, kicked off my thing in there. You right? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. And then I just got my nail in and got it out.
Yeah. Well, I think earlier this year I told the story of how I was stung by a bee in the shower. I was at my mother's house, and she's got this giant hedge that separates her property and the next place, and it backs up onto the bathroom window, and so as a result, there's always bugs in the bathroom as they come out the hedge. Anyway, I'm in the shower about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I just I thought I'd stood on a shard of glass or something. Because you don't think a bee's going to be in the shower. Sure enough, look down, it's a bee, and now I'm slipping around because I'm hopping on one foot in the shower. And the issue that I have, and I think most men have, is we don't have fingernails.
Nah.
And when you go to flick the old sack out,
Yeah.
you can accidentally squeeze it and inject all the venom into you, which hurts so bad. So I'm looking around. I eventually got, I think, a set of nail clippers, and I used that to flick the sack off. But the whole time, I'm yelling, jumping, banging things, soaps, shampoos, dropping everywhere. My mum's at the door like, what's going on? Are you okay?
She thinks you're having a vigorous wank.
I'd like to think medical event, but at the same time, she's trying to come into the bathroom. No,
Leave me alone, I'm just about done.
Yeah, because I'm stark naked in there, like bent over trying to pull a thing out of my foot.
Joe Jury, our chatterbait aficionado, runs everything to do with everything really at the ACC.
Yes, he does.
He went through a period where his partner made him wear this new deodorant that had no chemicals in it. Can you remember this? And it was a beeswax based
I do remember
deodorant.
this, yeah.
And he spent a summer basically getting attacked by bees. He could not get rid of them, and the penny dropped like about a month in of him. Basically, we'd be at a pub, bees would come and just hover around him, and it wasn't until he worked out that he was basically
signaling.
He was signaling. He had basically beehives under his arms, and the bees were like, "There's some beeswax here, and is this my nest?"
Just chasing him around. Yeah. So then we got people to text in, call in. Had they ever hit the quaddie? We had a few people who'd hit the quaddie.
Yeah. Is mosquito in there, or does that have to be a bee?
Well, that was the body quaddie.
Yeah.
That was the body quaddie as well, which I think was a flea, a tick, scabies, and a mosquito.
Oh, bed bug?
Oh, no, yeah.
Bed bug.
Bed bug and crabs.
Oh, crabs. Jesus.
Someone had the body quaddie and had all of them. No, I don't think Mozzie was in there. We broadened it to what else had you been stung or bit by? A lot of hoo-hoo beetles. I've been bit by a hoo-hoo beetle.
Oh, yeah.
Place in Waimate where we stay sometimes just out in the bush, Gunsbush actually, and just hoo-hoo beetles everywhere. You leave a light on, it's just covered in them.
Ugh.
Quite a fearsome insect.
Yeah.
And I picked one up one day and it bit the fuck out of me.
A lot of crab bites?
I've never been bit. Oh, I have been bit by a wee crab. You know when you open like a mussel or something and there's a wee
jellyfish?
crab in there. Stung by a jellyfish, yeah. I've been stung by. We got stung by on Bujavanaka. We went to Fiji.
Yeah.
With
one of the great names of a promo, Bujavanaka.
Yeah, it was. We went swimming and snorkeling, and we took a boat out to where we were snorkeling, and all of a sudden I could hear people like yelling from our group. I was like, what the fuck? And they were climbing out of the water onto the boat. All right, so I climbed out with them. They were our prize winners, and I was like, what happened? They said, we've been bit by something. We don't know what it is. We think it's sea lice. You heard of sea lice?
Yes.
So, and our Fijian guide, his name was Clayton, and he goes, nah, there shouldn't be any sea lice here this time of year. And I looked at him. He was in a wrist to ankle wetsuit, local Fijian dude, middle of summer. He's like, nah, shouldn't be any. It's like, really, Clayton? You've never seen them here this time of year and you're in a full fucking wetsuit? I reckon you have. You just didn't want to scare us off. So yeah, then I asked if anyone had been bit by a scorpion, a lot of whitetail bites.
Oh, yep. They're nasty, the whitetail bites.
Yeah. I was saying, well, remember, you know, I'm not going to drag their family names through the mud again.
I could see you were about to launch into it. That's quite gruesome, that story.
I worked with a guy who got bit on the ass by a whitetail spider, and he knew he did because he found the spider, and he had a 50-cent hole cut out of his ass. It sounded like the biggest crock of shit when he didn't show up to work for like a week, but he got hospitalised, and they cut a massive chunk out of his ass.
Dog bites? Few dog bites?
I've never been bit by a dog. No, we didn't open it up to dog bites.
Or animals, just mainly insects.
I've been bit by all manner of animals.
Invertebrate.
As you can imagine. Yeah, we did sort of stick to the insects. I've been bit by someone texted in they've been bit by a goose.
Oh, yeah.
Evil motherfuckers. Yeah. They're like if a set of bagpipes came to life.
Bagpipes with teeth.
Yeah, with teeth. And no, I've been bit by an alpaca, unsurprisingly. But it was interesting because I was walking into this pen of alpacas to drag one out to share it. And as I was walking around trying to grab one by the neck, one of them bit me on the back of the arm.
But another one you weren't trying to grab?
Different one, yeah, come up behind me and bit me on the arm.
It's like, leave my brother alone.
Well, I turned around and then it spat full in my face. Ew. Yeah, it was so gross, but I actually really respected it because it had a two-phase plan. You know, it's like I'll get his attention by biting him.
It's like tapping someone on the shoulder and then punching them.
That's exactly what it did. It was it was quite admirable because biting's their big thing, alpacas. Here's another useless alpaca fact for you.
Yeah.
They have their fangs and they use them to castrate other males so that only their bloodline can continue.
Ew.
Yeah, it's very medieval. And so I used to grind the fangs down on them. So yeah, if you've got alpacas.
So did you grind the fangs down so they didn't bite the other guy's dick off?
Yeah, balls.
Okay, balls, sorry.
Yeah, bite their balls out. Yeah, that's basically their go-to.
Jesus.
And before you ask your next question, it was just with an angle grinder. So I'm basically pushing an angle grinder into the mouth of an alpaca and grinding its teeth down.
Is it sedated or anything?
Fuck no. I had some sort of like contraption on the end of it to where you put its teeth in the contraption and then you push the thing down. It was fucking gross though, because the smell of it was like the smell of burning bone.
Oh.
And if you ever got it wrong, it was pretty grim. But if it saved one alpaca testicle, then so be it. You know,
you've saved so many alpaca scrotums.
I have. We're going to talk about the dogs here. Look, let's take a quick break. We've gotten waylaid by bug bites and alpaca scrotums. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and talk about the dogs. Just before we get into the dogs, the Golf Opens are back. Thanks to our mates at Movember. The legendary ACC Golf Open is back for 2025 at Pupuki Golf Course in Auckland on the 31st of January, which seems like it's over a month away, but you're going to get lost in a time warp, so you need to get onto this very soon. It's basically next week, really. Yep. Team entry to the ACC Golf Open includes green fees for 3 players, 9 holes, on-course beverages and snacks, use of the official ACC Open scoring app, which is very exciting, to be able to track your scores on an app and your friends' scores, and most importantly, a Friday afternoon off work to unleash your inner John Daly. Post-round entertainment back at the 19th hole and a guilt-free donation to Movember. So text golf to 3236 to join us on the green. The dogs have been binned.
Oh, the dishies.
The dishies
are gone. Is this a sacrificial lamb or a sacrificial canine? because the horses always got a bit of heat as well, didn't they? There's a group of people who don't like either.
Yep.
And they want to scrap all of it.
That's right.
Has Winnie P just gone, you can have the dogs.
You can have the
dish lickers.
Yeah, I think that could potentially be a part of it. I presume all of those people who are so vocal against dog racing are going to then house the over 3,000 dogs that'll be out of work next year. So
they love to run.
They love to run.
Exercising those motherfuckers wouldn't be easy.
They love to run. But I guess the counterpoint would be don't breed anymore. But the thing is, so there's 3,000 registered dogs here in New Zealand. How many others are there that are about to be registered or have just been deregistered, you know?
Or, I'm sure there's a breeding program as well. There's probably thousands of puppies now.
Well, they can have a litter of God knows how many puppies. The other part of it is, so as part of this legislature, so they're going to ban it they've got 20 months, so it's July 2026.
So stop breeding now.
So stop breeding now, but the other thing is, as part of that, they've had to rush through laws against euthanizing the dogs themselves because they were like, we don't want to be responsible for the dog owners to be like, well, fuck, we're going to have to kill them all. So you now can't put those dogs down unless you've got a valid reason, and it has to be done by a vet. So there's now laws against that. So that means that 3,000 are going to hit the market, and where are they going to go? How are we going to rehouse 3,000? I
think there's going to be some. I mean, back alley euthanasia's going on.
SPCA is already struggling to get rid of all of the dogs that they've got. So now there's going to be another.
These dog breeders, they do DIY euthanasia all the time.
Yeah, allegedly.
Come on.
Yeah, we talked to Winston Peters this morning on the Hauraki Breakfast show, and he basically said, look, this has been coming for ages. They've been talking about it for the longest time. I don't really know why they picked now, but he's like, fuck, it was as soon as we possibly could. Then I asked him, as the racing minister, can he gamble on racing? Yeah. And does he have any tips? He didn't have any tips, but he can gamble on racing.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's the minister, so he doesn't really... He's not like the trainer or the jockey.
Nah.
He's just a dude who basically got his political party got paid millions of dollars by the racing industry to get into parliament, and now he's sorting them out. He's sorting his brothers and sisters out. And
said, look, I'll do it. You're going to have to give up the dogs.
And do you think there's a reason why he's attacking the smoke-free legislation? Yeah.
Do you reckon he gets a free packer? When he blows
something like that.
When he Reds, he'd be on the Reds.
Yeah, he'd be on the Reds.
That's the shit I smokes.
So the dishy's gone. I mean, it's a lot of people working the dishies as well.
Yeah, it is.
So that's going to be a big blow to quite a big industry. I know that there's going to be a lot of happy people that the dishies aren't around, but I really enjoyed going. I used to go to the dishies in London.
Oh, yeah.
I used to dress up in fur coats and go to the dishies. It was so good.
Shoot a fox on the way there.
But I do feel like this is just but it's like a dead, you're slapping a dead fish in the middle of the table just to distract from the fact that racing has never been more popular, I guess, at the moment.
That's a good point.
And that'll only go strength to strength, and if it keeps the petters and the... Anyway, I'm going to do a hikoi for the hounds.
Yes, that's right.
God damn it.
Hikoi mo te kuri. We're marching for the dogs.
All 3,000 of them, let's march on Parliament.
Yeah, let's march around a track.
Fence it up and let all the dogs shit all over the Parliament steps and everything, and then we'll take them away again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's such a hard thing to gamble on. Let me ask you a question that I asked of a Greyhound trainer, and you tell me if this is the dumbest question you've ever heard in your life, because I was accused by one Stephen Donald of this being the dumbest question he's heard. Okay. I asked the dog trainer, when you're training these dogs, are you able to teach them strategies and tactics for the race? I didn't think that was that dumb a question. Is that dumb a question?
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb.
Well, I don't know. What are you training them then? How are you training them?
Speed, straight out line speed.
Yeah.
You can't... How are you...
Well, look, mate, if you're 3 back on the inside... and then
you're sitting down with your dog going, mate, stay at the back, just slow start, and then at the end, come in the inside and hit him. The dog's like...
Yeah. Is there an X's and O's session? Did they sit down and go...
I'm with Beaver on this one.
Dumbest question you've ever heard.
Yeah. I could see where you were going with it in terms of...
What are you training them to do?
Yeah, like if it's just straight out line speed and that's it, or around corner speed or whatever, then fine. But you're right. With some dogs, do they like to hang at the back, then gun it at the end?
Yeah. none of that. They don't teach them anything. It's practice basically.
Do you think? Okay, in honour of the dishies being, I mean, I'm probably not going to get much support for the hikoi for the hounds, but there's a great program that when I came back from overseas, the Hounds. Did you ever watch Hounds, the comedy?
No,
it was the first program I watched.
I think you've showed me it.
Yeah, I came back to New Zealand in 2010 or 11, and it was on TV. I thought it was the funniest thing. It was very funny.
And what are they doing? They're racing.
Yeah, it's a story about a guy, but he owns a dog, and his like uncle's racing it, and there's all sorts of things going on at the track. Like, yeah. It's funny. It's very funny.
I'll go and watch the Hounds. The Hounds are off. I chucked 5 on a dog this morning, lost, fucking blood red mad. There's no bet that's worse to lose than a greyhound. It kills me.
I've hit so many trifectas on the dogs. I mean, you've seen me on a Friday afternoon once I've clocked out. I'm just on the doggies.
I have seen the ACC bet slip on a Saturday morning.
Farewell the dishies.
That's what I've said. It's actually probably the best thing for the ACC TAB account.
What are we going to do, though, for the last ever dishies race? We're going to have to do something.
Yeah, we'll have to go down there for sure.
They're saying July 26. So, okay, it's
2026.
No, so next year will be the last Christchurch, because Christchurch Cup week, they have a big dishies week. So that'll be the last time they'll do that. So maybe we should target that.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Go down there. Well, Jerry was saying he used to go down to the track and throw a sirloin over the thing into the favourite so that it would fall back, and then his whatever dog he was betting on could win.
I mean, it's easier to throw a sausage than a sirloin.
Yeah,
but that shows the class of Jerry. Yeah, he'd throw eye fillet.
Yes,
out there. We're
bit of wagyu.
Yeah, wagyu. We just throw chuck steak, maybe blade steak,
lamb neck. All right, let's move on to a little bit of cricket. There's some interesting stuff going on. I'm going to attack this in reverse order. The first thing I would like to address, former Black Cap Jeet Raval has just posted the 3rd slowest first-class century of all time at Mount Maunganui. I love this. It took him 551 minutes, 366 balls to clock up a ton. His innings helped ND bat out a draw over CD in the Plunket Shield. How good is this?
Rav ball.
Rav ball is... Well, this is what I was saying. I was saying the first-class opener is falling by the wayside. Yeah. What we need, and I think the counter to Baz ball might be Rav ball. You just bring out a brick wall, but I was lamenting the fact that the brick wall doesn't exist in cricket anymore.
It exists.
Tell you what, does it what? Jeet Raval and the Plunket Shield is just out there just fucking
grinding it out. But we know that he can't really transfer that to the international game. That's the problem.
Maybe
in home conditions?
He was the victim of the most vicious sledge that I have ever heard in my life. Because most sledges are like, oh, bang your wife last night, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so...
You're so fat.
Yeah, and it's so bullshit that it's like, it doesn't actually mean anything. Yeah. Mitchell Starc said, if I bowl you out in this over, you'll never play for the Black Caps again. They're already thinking about dropping you. So don't get out this over or you'll never play for the Black Caps again.
What happened?
He bowled him out. And Jeet Raval has not played for the Black Caps since. But I'm saying, bring him back. God, how would he go? How would he go against Mitchell Starc?
Again.
I bet he still wakes up in a cold sweat every now and then thinking about it.
Mitchell Starc, he's still bowling absolute heat as well.
I know.
That pink ball, man, how much was he swinging that pink ball?
Why is the pink ball a thing?
It's just at a certain time of night, it starts swinging.
So it's not the colour?
Yeah.
Because everybody says, they get that pink ball. And
it's that evening time. It's that kind of between 6 and 8 at night.
Yeah, right.
And it just starts hooping. That's why those pink ball tests are always over early. And I remember a game, I think it was Aussie or England. England declared at 7:30 at night, and they only had 280, and they 280 for 5. They declared so they could bowl in those conditions.
Yeah.
So... And like I said, I think hopefully I said it on this podcast, I definitely said it on the sports book. Indians hate pink ball, and I said, put all your money on Australia. Yeah. And what they do, they hump them in 3 days.
Obliterated them, yeah. I just like seeing Jeet Raval. Also, 3rd slowest of all time, so it took him 9 hours and 11 minutes. The record...
9 hours? What the fuck?
I know.
A whole day, a day and a half of cricket.
Yeah. 9 hours and 11 minutes, but this is the heartbreaking thing. The second slowest is 9 hours and 16 minutes. The slowest ever, 9 hours, 17 minutes. He was 6 minutes away from a record.
From the world record?
I think if he hadn't known, you just dick around, wouldn't you? Call for a new helmet,
Yeah,
change
totally.
of gloves, something like that. Poor bastard.
Oh,
But
no,
anyway.
no one. Surely someone was looking at the slowest ever. He would have been on 90, and they would have gone, man, this is the slowest.
Fuck,
this could
this
be
is
the
taking
slowest
it.
century of all time. Surely that's what cricketers do.
Yeah.
They all sit round. You got nothing to do. Surely someone's on the stats, or the
Yeah.
scorer's gone, hey guys, this is almost the slowest ever.
Just want you to know, Jeet, if you survive for 6, and then Mitchell Stark came over and said, absolutely not, I'm bowling this dude out right now. I reckon bring him in. We've been saying we don't have a opening batter who can get out there and just fucking
Grind it out.
hit the fucking thing. Get Jeet back in there. I saw this headline today. It's on the New Zealand Herald. I wanted to discuss it and debate it with you. Is the Basin still the home of New Zealand cricket?
Was it ever?
Or is it now Hagley?
I guess the only reason it's the home of cricket is it is one of the original kind of oval-only, cricket-only grounds. One of the OGs.
Hagley is a relatively new ground.
Yes. They've got the New Zealand Cricket Museum there.
Yeah.
But I have to say, there's a lot of sentiment towards the Basin.
Yeah.
But the toilets are shit.
Yes.
The amenities are shit. They have to put all the food caravans way outside on the street, pretty much.
Yeah.
The R.A. Vance stand is horrendous.
It's going to fall. That has got to be a earthquake risk.
No, the other one was. It took about 5 years to repair.
Yeah.
Look, it's not. It's a kind of cute, kind of nice kind of thing,
Yeah.
but it's not a great ground.
No.
It's not a great. Whereas Hagley, Bay Oval are great grounds.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. They're built especially for a little bit more modern.
Yeah.
I don't know where the home of New Zealand cricket is. I wouldn't. If you'd said to me, I probably would have said Christchurch because that's where the academy was. But now the academy's in Tauranga. The high performance thing. I think it's almost Tauranga.
I think it might be the Mount. Yeah. Because all of the players live there.
And they've got those nets that they replicate Indian conditions.
Yeah.
They've got all their high performance is pretty much based out of there because they can train throughout the year because it's not fucking freezing.
Yeah. I reckon it might be Tauranga now. Not from a historic perspective, but currently.
Yeah.
Like I said, all the players live there. It's one of the best grounds.
Yeah.
Fucking mean over summer.
I mean, Basin's a great day on a sold out day on a nice day. Basin's great, but check out Basin on Sunday.
And I saw
that was horrible. That was horrible.
Yeah, that was horrible. On a good day, though. But that's the problem with Wellington. I saw a post on social media from a foreigner who had been watching the English test, presumably an English person, and was saying, fuck, the grounds in New Zealand are nice. I was like, yeah, they're not even the best we've got. I reckon you go down and play Queenstown.
Yeah. That's the issue with Queenstown is just the pitch. It's just not a world-class pitch at the moment, that's all.
Yeah, could you fly one down?
Yeah, I mean, you could drop one in, but it just costs so much money to maintain if you're going to play 1 or 2 games a year. They play a bit of first class there, but that is the most stunning one, where the aeroplanes basically landing on top of it, and then the Remarkables.
Yeah. I've never watched a game there, but I have watched a game from the Queenstown airport while Zoe, who booked our flights, was asleep at the cafe next to me.
Yeah, I suppose we're the last of the kind of purely grass embankment oval. You think about other grounds around the world. England, they've got smaller grounds. England, like Lords only takes about 25,000. You'd think Lords, home that is the home of cricket, would have a 50, 60. It's tiny.
Yeah.
The biggest one is the Oval, the other side of London, which is a bit bigger at kind of 30 or 40. But then you go over to Wales and you go to the other grounds. They're all relatively small.
Yeah. Which is the way it should be, I think.
But
they look better.
But they're all stands.
Oh yeah.
There's no grass embankments. I think we're the home of the grass embankment oval.
Yeah. Which is such a great way to watch cricket.
It's so good. You look at Hamilton, Tauranga, Basin, and Christchurch. Even University Oval to a degree, it hasn't quite got the full embankment going on.
No, it's got one.
Yeah,
but
still,
but even then,
it's still a lovely kind of
picturesque, and that's the way I think rugby should go as well. You know, we can no longer. It's become quite clear in the last 5 years we can no longer fill any of those stadiums.
The issue is around broadcast though, because those stadiums are built for broadcast as well, and it's easy to bump in and bump out with all your cameras and technology. Whereas if you start going to, say, the home of Takapuna Rugby, over there, it's a great little ground and it's got great little embankments. You could probably get 10,000 in there; it would look great.
Yeah.
But the broadcast have just been another $100,000 getting all their cameras in. That's the kind of balance.
Okay, I've always wondered that.
Yeah, because it just costs so much more.
It's like Shark Park in Dunedin, which is right on the beach there, would look incredible. When you pan up and the sea's right there.
If you didn't have to broadcast it, totes.
Surely there'd be some way to get around that.
That's why it's so easy to do those preseason games all over the country. Mangatanoka.
Because they don't broadcast it.
They don't broadcast it.
They basically chuck a Facebook stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go anywhere.
You just reminded me of what my most horrific sporting memories when I watched the preseason Crusaders game at Alpine Energy Stadium in Timaru, and I watched Willie Hines snap his shin in half. Open field, non-contact injury. Anyway, all right, let us take a quick break. We'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
I believe we've got 5 to get through today, and the first one goes like this. Yours, please.
Kia ora, fellas. Don't have any questions or comments. I just wanted to chime in because the yours please today was a bit grim. We had a few mouth-breathing sickos, a very depressed South African who just can't work out how to use YouTube, and a bloke who is so stoned he doesn't know where Oamaru is. So I just thought I'd try and raise the tone and call in, say well done, thank you, and keep up the good work.
Oh,
Thanks,
Cheers.
mate.
That's one of the yours pleases of the year.
Yeah, needed that.
He just needed to right the ship, didn't he? He's a steady the ship of yours please.
Yes, thank you very much for that. We really needed that as people, as a podcast, but like personally, I think we both needed it. All right, another caller here. Yours, please.
Hello, boys. Andrew from Napes here. Just listening to this morning's podcast, and you were talking about the upcoming French tour, where they were going to send a B team, and players like fuck you have said no thanks. I'm wondering if maybe rugby could do with some sort of a competition like the World Test Championship to ensure that full-strength teams tour, get spectacles, get tickets, bums and seats, like cricket.
I like it. I like this idea because in rugby, I feel like at least the top tier nations all play relatively similar amount of games, whereas in cricket, you know, India and Aussie and England, they play heaps, and then we play some.
Yeah.
But I feel like rugby, that would be good. So what would that be every 2 years? How long's the World Test Championship?
Yeah, every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2 year cycle.
That would work. That would give you a bit more.
It's more complexity to it, but there needs to be something on the line though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because Northern Hemisphere teams are always going to send. If this is a precedent, they're going to go, just send a fucking B team.
Yeah, what does it matter?
Yeah.
If we lost to the All Blacks.
Yeah, we lose anyway.
In Dunedin, none of us watched it.
Yeah.
So why do we care? So yeah, I like it. There needs to be some sort of incentive. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that. Have you seen the guy on Instagram who's crapping on about the lineal world champion?
What's the lineal world
So
champion?
we should probably try and get him on, but he is basically tracked the history of rugby back to the first ever international match.
Yeah.
And I forget who it was between. And then whoever won that, they are, the world champions at that stage.
Yes.
So then whoever beat them then becomes the world champion. And he's tracked that all the way to today. I think it's South Africa, but...
Fuck, he needs to get out. Man, that is some sort of deep dive.
Oh, yeah. It's very cricket.
Yeah.
He should have done that with cricket, not rugby.
Well, maybe it is the off season over in England.
Yeah.
So maybe the English cricket season's finished over there, so he's just going deep into rugby stats.
Yeah. But the thing is, I thought it was really interesting when I first saw it, and then I realised that it's just South Africa because they've beaten everyone in the last year. So it is basically whoever's. Did we beat South Africa? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There needs to be something on the line. I think it's a good idea. Another caller here. Yours, please.
Hey, fellas. Just listening to G Lane's acting skills on the last podcast with his pep talk in the changing sheds. Have you ever thought about doing audiobooks? And how's the South African accent? Because it'd be great to listen to an audiobook of Wagner's done by the ACC. Anyway, hooroo.
I think Wags would hate that.
Yeah, I don't think he'd like it because he's trying to Kiwify his accent as best he can.
Yeah,
Wags,
to be understood.
Yes, so he's still got a little bit of like this, but not full on fucking them up.
Also, light in a biltong.
Yeah,
no, he.
I can't even remember my changing room rant. Was that yesterday?
I actually don't know what he's referring to either. But what I would say is, I wonder if there's a market for pre-game speeches to fire teams up. Like if we at the ACC recorded messages from various different commentators and you played them in the changing rooms before you go out there.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you get Kieran Reid to do one. He did one for our Movember 11.
Oh, yeah.
And we got in a circle, and as soon as he started talking, I could tell that he's given that line before.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, guys, I know it's all fun and stuff, but we come here to win, and I don't like to lose.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to put their body on the line. I was like, yeah, man, fucking A.
Yeah.
And a bunch of middle-aged men went and threw themselves around an international ground.
There is something about that when it's someone like him who's done it on the biggest stage.
Yeah.
I've told the story before about being in a meeting with Brendan McCullum, who, when I worked in the mainstream sports media, and he said, well, why couldn't we be the best radio station in the world? And I was like, fucking A, Baz, why couldn't we? And I walked out of there and I was like, I reckon we can.
And it soon became clear that you
were. And
you could never.
We then went on to become the greatest sports and then he took that same ethos over to the English rugby cricket team.
Same speech.
Yeah, same speech. Worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. When you get those speeches, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
I genuinely walked out of that meeting and thought, we're on here.
Well, now with AI, we could pretty much just get Kieran Reid or Brendan McCullum's voice with their permission, and we could tailor it so you could actually pick people out. So be like, hey guys, Brendan McCullum here. Look, I know you got a big game, Manaia. I know you've been injured most of the season, but a massive game for you.
Yeah.
Joe Jury, look, you've been a player, and like you could actually just do it, and we could move his mouth with it.
You've been under a lot of stress, but mate, when you play with joy, that's some of the best cricket I've ever seen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Let's
I think it's a great idea. Another caller. I think we got two more. Another caller here.
G'day, fellas. Mike Oxmore here. I had a colleague who could roll a durry and eat a pie and drive a manual at the same time. You know, so he's a pilot now. So yeah, good stuff.
We were talking about multitasking, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you can...
Men can't multitask until it comes time to drink a beer, smoke a durry, and slap the pokies at the same time.
Correct. Yeah.
And now this guy can drive a manual while eating a pie and rolling a durry.
So is he one-handed rolly pie, changing it with the pie hand?
I have no idea. Driving with his knees?
Yes.
Tell you what, you hit a fucking uphill intersection.
Oh, yeah.
You're in
done.
deep shit.
Yeah. Just any sort of traffic or intersection.
Oh, uphill in a manual.
You've got to work the gears, so
you're gonna have to give
the
up
clutch. That's true. The pie will fall off the knee.
You're probably putting it into neutral, then the handbrake's coming on.
Yeah.
Then you're trying to find first. Can't find it, grind it. But respectable. I wonder if now that he's a pilot, do you reckon he could roll a durry, eat a pie, and fly a plane?
I think you could even more than that, because he does, especially stick it on autopilot.
Oh, yeah, true.
It depends what he's flying. If he's flying a Cessna or something, your hand's on the stick the whole time. But if you're flying with some of these jets, aren't you just phoning it in?
I think they do them themselves, yeah. Powerful stuff. One last caller here. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day, lads. Hey, this one's pretty wild. It's a pub scenario that's got out of hand, to be fair. The question was, which cricketing legend would you bring back from the dead to see play again? But the catch is, when you bring him back, you got to swap penises with him. So the boys, Don Bradman, all that kind of stuff. But the wild answer that we got was one lad would go find Chris Gale, knock him off, and bring him back, and watch the switcheroo happen in live action. Merry fucker to February, guys.
That's a good scenario.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, it's going to be extremely unfair because there's going to be a lot of West Indian players being brought back to life.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a spate of them being knocked off.
Yeah. Malcolm Marshall, I'd say then.
Oh, yeah?
Bowl fast.
Yeah.
He'd come back and bowl fast and I'd get his downstairs.
Carry a big stick.
Yeah.
God,
but he might not as bowl as fast with my stick, though.
This is the part.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah, because he's got this little white guy's dick. Would that give him the confidence to come steaming in and bowl 150 kilometres an hour? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would argue not.
Yeah. What about you?
No, it's funny. When I actually listened to this before we came in here this morning, when he started explaining the scenario, that's exactly where my brain went. Yeah, I was like, universe boss, knock him off, come back. It's like, look, sorry, mate.
There's some other. I mean, is Garfield Sobers? Is he alive?
No way. Surely no. Gary Sobers.
Yeah. So I mean, he'd be another one.
Yeah.
You go for.
Take your pick out of the West Indian.
Shane Warne.
Pace bowlers.
Shane Warne. It'd be a bit riddled though, wouldn't it? You'd get it and go, oh God, it's been overused.
Thanks. I think. No, I don't think. He was.
It would come with some experience though. You'd come with that and go, whoa.
Oh, he was a prolific stickman.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was due to the size. I think that was. I actually don't know what it is. I think it was I think what it was with Shane Warne is that women at their core appreciate good leg spin when they see it.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and especially the good flipper and variation.
The variations, the googly, yeah.
Question, supplementary question for this man and for the pub scenario. When you inherit that downstairs, do you also inherit the memories that downstairs has been through? Does it come with the experience? So, no pun intended, but I get Shane Warne's downstairs after bringing him back. Does that all of his past conquests and misdemeanors all transfer to my brain and to my wank bank?
Because they say that when, people who have received organ donations or limb donations from other people, has anyone ever received a limb donation? I don't know. Anyway, they sometimes do feel like they've got the memory of that person.
Yes. Okay.
I'd probably still go Chris Gale, though.
I'm 100% Shane Warne, if that's the case. Because he would have some, and especially if you could tell the story.
Yeah.
Like you could start, like, it's just me and we're at the pub. He goes, you've got to go to the pub with G Lane. He's got every single one of Shane Warne's bedroom stories.
Have you heard what G Lane's doing? He's left the ACC and now he just goes on a speaking circuit because he's got Shane Warne's dick. And you can ask him any question.
And Shane Warne, he's got my dick and he's got just the worst sexual confidence of all time. He's just like, oh my God, what? Why would he do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
He's just got memories of, what was it, the Hilly in Hamilton? No, oh no.
Cold sweats at night. He's going, and meanwhile I'm in bed and I'm going, oh, fuck yeah.
He's in the commentary just every now and then going, oh. Like, what's that, Shane? No, all good. It's just, I have memories of places I've never been. That would be funny. It's like, for $10,000 you can get Mike Lane to come around and tell your story from Shane Warne's prime. Yeah, I've heard he's got his dick. I don't know. Came with the memories. That's a brilliant idea. It's a great idea. Hopefully that sparked a few yarns for you guys listening at home as well. Let's knock this thing on the head. We'll come back tomorrow. Heath is going to join me on the podcast tomorrow because you are going to get the camel.
I'm on Project Sexy Camel tomorrow, so I'll see you Friday.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.